Welcome back to Abel's Treasures. Today, we have the opportunity to talk to Kori. You can find her on TikTok and Instagram as Not So Trashy 22. I'll put her links down below. It was a great conversation, and I can't wait to show you what she found out of a dumpster. Now, before we jump into it, go ahead and hit that like button. Share with your friends because it helps out my channel, and I would appreciate that so much. Comment below if you would go dumpster diving. And finally, also wait to the end where I pull out my 3 items out of this conversation. Again, I really enjoyed talking to Kori. Let's jump right into it. Kori, welcome to my channel, Abel's Treasures. I'm really glad that you're on. Now, before I ask you some questions, one of the things that I want to say is we met in a leadership course, and in that leadership course, one of the things that stood out to me is how you supported me as well as how you supported the overall team. So I want to thank you for being that strong leader and giving me honest feedback, even though maybe sometimes I didn't want it, but I know that's helped me grow over the last couple of months. So thank you, and I will always cherish our friendship. So thank you very much.
You are most welcome. I will also cherish our friendship.
So we'll get right into it. Will you do me a favor and tell people about yourself? What do you do? And I'm so glad Buddy made an appearance.
All right. So I am Kori, as you said, and I live in the Cleveland, Ohio area. I am a dumpster diver and reseller. So what is dumpster diving exactly? So what I will do is I'll go around to your major stores and I will dumpster dive there. And I generally find merchandise that is new with tags, generally not damaged, and I will either donate them to the members of my community or I will resell them online to make some money.
That's awesome. So how did you get into dumpster diving?
Great question. So about 8 months ago, I moved from Upper East Side of New York City and I moved to Cleveland for a job. And in New York, I don't know if you know this, but the city is actually not made like with alleys like a normal city. So everybody's trash goes right to the like out front. So you're walking to work and you're walking by everybody's trash. So that includes your stores like CVS and like your people's houses, like people's apartments and stuff. You'll see all their trash. And it was wild to me, the stuff that people was throwing away. For you resellers out there, if you know anything about furniture, we're talking like West Elm, Pottery Barn. I found a table that was like $30,000. I found a mirror that I actually snagged off the street that was like $300.
Wow.
Perfectly fine, nothing wrong with it. And it was just because it was right there. I also like would go past schools, and it was not uncommon that you saw like at the end of the school year that there was these clear bags, and in these bags there was like hundreds of books, like school items, markers, crayons, everything. And I would literally just take them and like drag them out into the sidewalk so that people walking by could see that. And if they needed anything, thought they could use it for their kids or whatever, they can just snatch it and take it home. So that's kind of where reselling started. And then, or not reselling, dumpster diving started. Like I just saw the sheer amount of waste because it was right in front of my face every single day when I walked outside for work. And then somehow I ran into dumpster diving TikTok and I realized that like this is not just a New York thing. This is a nationwide problem and issue, that the amount of waste we have in America.
Okay, so you mentioned problem, amount of waste we have in America, and I know on your TikTok it's saving the world one dumpster at a time. Can you talk a little bit more about that? What I believe I know, but talk to everybody about what you're saving. What's the problem? How are you finding a solution?
So a lot of stores will throw away food 30 days before the best by date. And a best by date is just generally an arbitrary like date, right? Mm-hmm. And I say that because I want you to make you think of like the Hostess Twinkie, right? Like, I mean, we all say like, oh, a Hostess Twinkie has like a shelf life of 8 years, and mm-hmm. you go and you take a bite of one that's Best Buy the day after, and it still tastes fine, right? There's nothing wrong with that Twinkie. So what I do is I will salvage food. I will salvage, like, I've salvaged dog food, cat food, toys, pet clothes, human clothes. Nothing wrong with these items. Home decor, and I say home decor like cups, like, like when you go to buy like a 16 pack of cups and one cup is busted, so then they throw away the 15 good cups that are still in there. So I will salvage all of these things, and like I said, either resell them or I will redistribute them to like humane societies. Here in Ohio, we have a lot of things called blessing boxes or library boxes. The library boxes are just boxes of books, like little mini community libraries. And then blessing boxes have, depending on your area, you can put whatever in them. So I usually go and fill them with food, pet food, maybe like things that I think that like somebody in the community might use, like diapers and wipes and anything that I found from the dumpster that I think my community might need.
You mentioned community, and you talked about there's a whole TikTok community of dumpster divers, and there's probably on YouTube or Instagram as well. But can you talk to, are you building community around you? Have you met other dumpster divers?
Oh yeah, I've met like, so I chat a lot with other dumpster divers. Some of them are in Indiana, Pennsylvania, Texas. So I've talked to like a lot of them, talking to them about like what they're doing with their supplies. Do they know other nonprofits that they like work really well with? I even go dumpster diving with a couple of girls here in the Cleveland area. We meet up and like we'll go dumpster diving together. Just it just makes it more fun, and also like sometimes it's hard to like get everything out as one single person. We're talking like there's been times I've gone to the dumpster and there's like one was a fish tank. It was like a ginormous fish tank. And people were like, well, why didn't you get in and get out? Like, because on the other side of the dumpster, there's nobody there but myself, like, to, like, try to get that thing out. Like, we could have easily have salvaged that. I say me and the other girl, could have easily salvaged that fish tank, but because I was by myself, there was no way I was going to get it out of there unbroken. So sometimes it's easier in, like, power in numbers when dumpster diving. And actually, I even went with a reseller. His name's Tony, and like he and I went and we went and got books, and he's even resold some of the stuff that he's found dumpster diving.
Yeah, I actually interviewed Tony, I would say about a month or two ago on this channel. Great guy. I met him also through the leadership course. So yeah, great guy. I'm actually looking at your Instagram and TikTok right now. You are finding some amazing stuff. And I'm going to be honest, when I first think dumpster diving, it's dirty. It needs to be cleaned up. The pictures that I'm looking at right now, they're clean. They're in good condition. Something that I'm actually looking at dog toys, I believe, right now. But a dog could use right away. And there's not going to be any concern with that dog playing with that toy. What's your philosophy on when you're grabbing things and pulling them out of the dumpster?
I will pull out generally anything that's like unbroken and can be used. I've even pulled out a dog bed that I just put a couple stitches in, and then like I actually use it for my cats. Because in my mind, I'm like, this is a perfectly good, like, and when I say it has a slash, either the company, a person working there has slashed it, or it was like it got destroyed during the shipping process. So, I mean, I try to take anything that I can think that can be salvaged, reused in another way, or strictly used like straight out of the dumpster.
If I wanted to get started dumpster diving, and
Mm-hmm.
I know you've asked me, you should go dumpster diving before. Tell us how would I get started?
Well, first and foremost, the thing that I would recommend is you're going to want to just do a Google search and see if it's okay to dumpster dive in that county or city. Legally, now this is not lawyer talk or anything like that, so obviously do your research, but you should be able to dumpster dive in America with no problems. Now, there's a caveat to that. So there's city and state restrictions. So do a Google search, or you can even call your non-emergency number and ask them. They should be able to tell you like yes or no, you're not allowed to dumpster dive. The second thing is you're going to go and you're going to drive around and you're going to see a store that you want to dumpster dive. So let's say Target. Chances are you're not going to be able to dumpster dive there because it's a big store and they usually have compactors, but let's just use that for this example. So you're going to look at Target and you're going to say, okay, this is where I want to go dumpster diving. You're going to start to drive around back. Now you're going to want to make sure that you don't see any no trespassing signs. Because you could be cited for trespassing, right? So sometimes they're on the sides of the road when you're driving back there, or they're even right there on the dumpster itself. That one is definitely enter at your own risk kind of thing. Like, know that if you're going to dumpster dive there, you could get a ticket. And then I would stay away from compactors. Those are like the big machine ones. I would always go for like lift tops or sliding doors. And dig in. Hold on, real quick. Yeah. There's a smell test. If you smell something before you even get to the dumpster, I would stay away. And I say that because that's going to help you stay away from like your restaurants. Like your restaurant, like if you're like in a plaza, usually restaurant dumpsters smell pretty bad. So I usually, if I smell it from a couple steps away, I don't even bother. Like I just
turn around and yeah. What's one of the most interesting things that you found in a dumpster? Oh,
interesting things. It's a tough question because I find things all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like $180 blow dryers, still brand new in the box, to boxes of Ray Dunn Christmas decor. I mean, we're talking tons of stuff, bags and boxes and carloads of dog and pet items. And we're not talking food, we're talking like toys. I mean, this list could go on about how many crazy, amazing things I could find.
Well, the thing that I find the most interesting, following your TikTok and Instagram, is that freaking clown. That clown is amazing. Remind me, how tall was the clown? I'm going to actually post it right here of how it looked in your living room. How big is it?
It's a 12-foot clown. So it's the Halloween clowns that, if you've ever seen those skeletons at Halloween that go outside, it was a 12-foot clown that I found in the dumpster.
And all the parts were there?
All the parts were there.
So if you chose to resell it, just an estimate, I'm not asking you to go to sold comps or anything right now, how much do you think you could get for that clown?
I can tell you on the box it said it was retailed at $500.
Yeah.
Like in the video you can see that the sticker on it said $500. I'm guessing I'd probably get $300 out of it.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, $200-$300. And how much did you pay for it?
Gas.
Yeah. So that's amazing. If you chose to resell it, I know we've had the conversation. You're not reselling it. It may be on your front lawn in a couple of months.
Yeah, my husband is pretty attached to it. I'm not gonna lie though, that thing is in the basement, and that head is ginormous. Like it's almost as big as my torso. Like
that's awesome. That is awesome. I keep mentioning TikTok and Instagram. One of the things that I'm most proud of you is how you've grown your TikTok. For people that are wanting to grow their social media, I know this is outside of reselling, but I know a lot of people kind of put that hand in hand. How would you suggest someone start?
Well, that's it. You just start. Like sometimes like so I was dumpster diving months before I even started my TikTok. And part of that reason why I never actually started my TikTok is because I didn't think people cared. I didn't think people wanted to hear what I was doing. And also I was a little embarrassed, to be honest with you. Like, you know, like I'm a college educated woman. Like, why am I going in the dumpster? And so I think the big thing is like just starting, right? Just putting yourself out there. I would say make it, you know, I feel like people that have content that go all over the place, and I say all over the place, like, you know, I went shopping this day, I did this. I think you just need to have like a straight, narrow road, you know, talking about what you are doing. And then being vulnerable and authentic, you know, just, you know, talking. There are some videos of me just talking about like dumpster diving and responding to some people's comments. And replying to the people saying how gross and nasty it is, but we're living in some economic times that people are having trouble paying bills. And so I know that what I'm doing is making an impact in my community. And so if I can help some people just lighten the load a little bit by filling those blessing boxes and then sharing it on TikTok and just showing people that they're not alone, that helps, I think, with also like exposure.
Yeah, great answer. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about too, because my channel is really about mindset too. How do you get past certain things and continue to thrive? And you mentioned, it's kind of embarrassing. How did you, get past what other people think of you and just do it?
Wow. So it took a minute. That was Buddy. It took a minute to really get past that mindset. And I say that because I did struggle with like, oh, I'm a college educated woman, like going in the dumpsters. And so I had to really narrow down and think about like, why am I doing this? What is my purpose? And that's where it really kind of like circled home. And I say that because I'm doing dumpster diving to educate my like the world about the sheer amount of waste, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how like stores are telling us like, oh, we should recycle this container, but yet they're throwing away thousands of pounds in the landfill. That's number one. Number two, taking care of my community is really important to me. Like seeing how much food waste there is and being able to relieve some stressors for people in my community, that's big for me.
Yeah.
And three, just showing everybody else that they can do it too. These little tiny impacts help a ton in your community and in your own pocket. And I say that because I've had people comment, and this kind of helps me keep going. Actually, this fuels my fire. People will message like, how do you start dumpster diving? And then they'll comment like, I started dumpster diving. This is what I found. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
So just giving those people the tools and to empower them to make a difference in their communities or help them make extra money or whatever it may be, it also like helps fuel my fire.
Yeah. And you keep saying the word community. One of the things that I was thinking of is you're in a dumpster diver community, if we had to put titles on it, right? And
right.
I'm in a reseller community, but they have the same vision of creating less waste and recycle up the items that we locate. So it goes hand in hand on what we're all trying to do and trying to keep things out of the landfill. And I'll be honest. Hi, buddy. I'll be honest. When I started reselling, it wasn't about keeping things out of the landfill. It was the joy of the hunt. But as I go and the more I learn, the amount of stuff that is in a landfill is crazy. The amount of pictures that we see. So thank you for what you're doing, and thank you to all the other resellers. I'm trying to upsell, and I encourage people to continue to do that.
Actually, it's funny that you say that. So you generally do your like searches at like where? Where do you go find your items?
Goodwill, other thrift stores, garage sales.
So there is a woman out of Pennsylvania. Her name's Salty Stella. She dumpster dives at thrift stores, and she found vintage Pyrex the other day.
Really?
Yeah, she actually sells on Whatnot too.
Okay.
So, like, there you go, resellers. I think this is another great way to like show that you can be a reseller and a dumpster diver, right?
Mm-hmm.
And still make money. And I say that because I think we're categorizing two different like groups and communities, but why not merge them into one? Because there's a lot of money that can be made from dumpster diving,
mm-hmm.
and starting with $0, right?
Right.
Where you have to start with some kind of capital, like some kind of money to like buy these things and sell them. I don't have to start with anything. Nothing.
Right.
$0, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is where I'm kind of like getting into empowering people that like, hey, like you can dumpster dive, help your community, and make some cash by just, you know, go looking in a dumpster.
Right. I love it. I love talking about mindset. How does somebody get started, where they're at now, because it just takes one step to get started, and we get a little bit better by those steps. Um, so that was a little bit deep. So I want to have a little bit fun. What excitement do you get out of dumpster diving or reselling or anything like that?
To be honest with you, the reselling part like stresses me out. Like I hate the reselling part. Um, the just like you, it's the hunt. Like, what am I gonna find? Like, right?
Right.
Like you pull up to that dumpster and you're like, "Ugh, am I gonna find another $180 curling iron? Am I gonna get a clown? Like, and I mean, I just pulled out a like one of these nice chairs the other day out of the dumpster.
Yeah.
Like, you never know what you're gonna find. And so, I mean, obviously, like if you go to like certain stores, you have a general idea what you might find, but
Hmm.
you know, I mean,
Yeah.
I found even like fish tank stands. Like, you never know. It's the excitement. It's the thrill, right?
Right. So here's a random question. When you pointed at the chair, it made me think of something that you taught me. What the heck is a soup bag?
Oh. Okay. So some stores have a return policy that they have to damage out their items. Um, and so what they'll do is they will take, it's usually your makeup stores. What they'll do is they'll take all the items that were returned or is supposed to be pulled off the shelf, and then they'll like squirt like tanning lotion or shampoo and conditioner. They'll squirt it all in the bag, right?
Hmm.
In hopes to deter the dumpster diver from um, going in there, right? So there are dumpster divers that get those soup bags, like myself, and we will pull the items out. And I've done that, and I've gotten brand new like makeup palettes, like eyeshadow palettes, contouring palettes. Some of these items were like $50 a piece.
Yeah. And to be very clear, because again, we're we're hearing this, and people like to make up stories that may not have all the facts. Those things that are like $50 a piece, they're still sealed. They're it's just that they put something over the top of the packaging, right?
Yeah. Some of them are like when I say sealed, like what happens is like so you take it out of that sealed card, like you have that when you buy an eyeshadow palette, it comes in like a cardboard box. So you open up that cardboard box that has all the yuck on it, and you pull out the palette, and it's pristine. And when I say pristine, like it's still got the plastic cover over it. You can tell that it's never been touched. Like it's pristine.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm saying like I bought eyeshadow palettes before, but I haven't. Just to be very clear.
Uh, but what I will say is that like something as a dumpster diver reseller, I would never ever um, donate, sell anything that I would never use myself. So that eyeshadow palette, would I use it? Absolutely. Am I going to use like mascara or eyeliner that's not like still completely sealed? Mm-mm. Because
Hmm.
like diseases, conjunctivitis, all that kind of stuff. So syphil or not syphilis, herpes, like that kind of stuff. So I'm very, very picky. Other people are not. So I will tell you like that is one thing. I'm very picky about what I do resell or,
Yeah.
or donate. Hold on, that
Now
was just
see,
like a tip, by the way. That was a tip for anybody who's like thinking about going to soup bags. Like this is something you should think about. Like,
right.
yeah.
Be very picky with the soup bag that you're getting.
Well, you can't be picky about the soup bag you're getting. You get picky with the stuff that's in the soup bag.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm curious. You said you donate and you also sell on eBay. What's the estimated percentage? We're not gonna fact check you exactly, but how much do you donate? How much do you sell on eBay?
It's kind of like a roller coaster effect, right?
Hmm.
So, and I say that because, for instance, like right after Christmas, I got a ton of like Ray Dunn items. So it's really hard to like donate those to like when I say Ray Dunn items, they're like the Christmas tree cookie canisters, right? That like say like cookies on the side. Um, like it's hard to donate those items because that's not something that like is really a need.
Hmm.
Um, but then like shortly after, like I got almost like a full carload of like food and stuff that like I had gotten from Dollar Tree had a leak in our area, and they had a roll off dumpster, and it was completely full. We're talking bags and bags and bags of chips and food and sauces and all kinds of stuff. So I donated tons of that. So I'm gonna say, like, sometimes on my content you'll see that like I'm not really donating a whole lot at that time, because it's kind of comes with the holidays, right? Like that
Right.
wave.
Right.
But I'm gonna say probably 50-50. Like now, I used to say like 80-20, but right now, if I'm gonna like put a timestamp on it now, it's gonna be like 50-50.
Okay. But then it changes throughout the year.
Oh yeah, like for sure. Now that the holiday seasons are going to be almost like I say holidays. Think of your major Hallmark stuff. Like when you go into the store, you see aisles of
Easter.
yeah. So the
Hmm.
next stuff, like the next stuff is I'm going to get is a bunch of Easter stuff.
Hmm.
And then after Easter, I think that's it until like 4th of July Memorial Day.
Yeah.
So it'll pick up more in like not like it'll be more like stuff to donate after like that loop is gonna be more donate time versus resell time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So again, looking at your Instagram, we see dog toys and cat toys. I want to know. We saw Buddy. Are your cats spoiled because of your dumpster diving?
Oh yeah, they are for sure spoiled. He's been here this whole interview. For sure spoiled. Buddy and Bella have more cat toys than they'll ever need cat beds. Because I'm like, oh, my cats will use this. Yeah, they're definitely spoiled.
That's amazing. Now, the last question that I ask everybody, as you know, my channel's called Abel's Treasure, and I want to know, what is your greatest treasure?
Uh, I'm gonna say my greatest treasure is my family.
Hmm.
My family, my husband, they are all super supportive and loving, and a lot of people could, you know, pass a lot of judgment, but my mom is so great. She'll always be like, "Oh, did you go dumpster diving? What'd you find?" Like, you know, um, my husband has helped me like when it comes to reselling, like dropping stuff off. Like, it's great to have such a network of people that are loving and respect what you do, because I know that not everybody feels that same way when it kind of comes to like dumpster diving and reselling. There's a lot of judgment that can be passed. So I'm so happy that I have them, that they're so supportive and making my dreams come true.
Yeah. And thank you for putting that out into the world where you're supporting other dumpster divers on your TikTok and your Instagram. Thank you so much, Kori, for coming onto my channel and putting that into the world where there's so many opportunities. Now, it's my job to take away 3 items that I pulled out of our conversation. It was great, and I still can't believe you found that clown. But my 3 takeaways, we'll get right into it. Number 1, there are opportunities everywhere through dumpster diving, reselling, or anything that you have a passion for. Be open and begin researching what those opportunities are. I mean, we talked again, I'm stuck on that clown. She found a clown in there that retails for 500, but if she chose to do that, she would be able to make a little bit of cash off that and then continue to build a business. So again, there are opportunities everywhere. Find what your niche is and go for it. Number 2, be vulnerable and authentic. Now, when I was talking to Kori about this, we were talking about social media. Be authentic with your audience. But not only that, if you're out reselling, I automatically thinking going to garage sales and making those connections with people. That's something I enjoy doing. But being authentic, and what I mean by authentic, let them know that you're a reseller. Hey, this is what I do. What's the price for this item? Hey, that might be too much. I'm not going to be able to make a little bit of profit on that. Be honest with them, authentic with them, and that goes a long way. I know it's been valuable for me. Number 3, if you're struggling on getting started on a project that you want to get started, maybe take a few steps back and find out what your passion or what your why is. Again, talking to Kori, she didn't get on TikTok or Instagram because she didn't know if anybody would care about her story. Now, as she's continuing to grow, she's realizing there's a whole community out there and people are very interested in what her story is. So if you have a passion project and you're just not getting started, ask yourself why you want to do that passion project. Where can you take that? Find that why, and then just take action on it and learn as you go. Trust me, I'm learning as I go every single day, and I love this community for that. Now, finally, I want to remind everybody the greatest treasure is connections with people. Take care of each other.